last class, actually, sorry, 2 classes ago, we talked about how to use our eraser tools to cut out SpongeBob so we can have our photograph of SpongeBob. We erase everything but him. That's going to leave us with a transparent background on our SpongeBob so we can put it somewhere else. Okay, so let me present here. Then our last class, we talked about some of the issues that we were having, over erasing, under erasing, how to put a screen behind it to make sure everything's gone. If you missed all of that and you want to hear it, go to the link in our assignment. I have a link to a YouTube video on there where you can walk through the whole thing again. I know the hardest part was, wait, hold on one second. Sorry, my son is going down the street and he's going to wear a mummy costume, and I had to make sure that he wasn't representing our family in a negative way. Okay, so the process of putting back some of the stuff that we erased is pretty extensive. So we want to make sure that you can go through that video, pause it, play it when you need to, okay? So the second step, the next part of this, hold on. The next part of this is we're going to take SpongeBob, the SpongeBob we have, and we need to start copying and pasting it to something else, okay? So protocol that we're going to follow. First, we need to find a picture to paste SpongeBob to. Everyone's going to do this, so if you would with me, please get your stuff open, get it ready to go. All you Chromebook users, log into your virtual desktop. I'll give you some time to do that right now while I organize a couple things. I'll give you like a minute and a half or so, 2 minutes. Go ahead and do me a favor. When you're ready to go, means you have your virtual desktop up or you have your web browser up, like your Chrome or whatever. Go ahead and type ready in the comments so I can make sure the majority of us are ready to go. This is the page we will be going to, ghsgd1.blogspot.com. So when you get this pulled up, I'll put the link down here for you. When you get that pulled up, type ready, like the 3 of you already have. I'm muted. Under SpongeBob, for those of you that are already ready, that have it pulled up and ready to go, under SpongeBob it says then click here to get the second image we'll be using. Okay, so click there, and then those of you that it says that SpongeBob is too mature for HSD, go ahead and click on the link here. Now, when you're at this desert picture, or after you click on the link, again, type ready when you have this page up on your screen. Okay, that's not really a ton of you. I think we should be all right, though. So once you have this desert picture pulled up, we're going to right-click on it. You're going to go Save Image As, and I would save it somewhere you're going to find it. I like to put mine on my desktop just because I know where that is. I'll click Save. And then once you have that saved, you're going to go back to Photoshop. And once I'm back on Photoshop, I'm now going to go File, Open, File, Open. I'm going to find my desert picture. Click on the Open. And now you see what happens is I have these two tabs. One tab has SpongeBob in it. Other tab has the desert in it. Okay. Once you finish that, please type Open on the right-hand side. Admin password. That's weird, Luna. You shouldn't have to do that. Are all you Chromebookers still struggling trying to get to this point? Okay. So Steven. Okay. Open. Thank you. You have to open up Google and then what to say. Yes, exactly. So like Austin just said, for you Chromebook folks, remember you're opening up the Chromebook on the desktop. You're not opening Chromebook that's like linked on your computer screen. It's like the virtual desktop itself that has all the little icons on the side. That's where you have to open your Chrome. From there, then when you open that, you can copy and paste the link that I pasted in here, the picture link that it has, and then you can open that or save it and open that in Photoshop. You got to do that one extra step. Yeah, super, super annoying. Okay, so I'm going to jump through this next part fairly quickly so I can get us time to be able to walk some of you through this that are struggling with it. The next thing to do, this is the background we're going to put SpongeBob on. So I need to go back to my SpongeBob layer. I already have SpongeBob cut out. If we open our layers, you see that it's transparent. We have the gray and white checkerboard around it. What I'm going to do now is I need to copy SpongeBob, and then I'm going to paste him onto the new one. So the first thing I need to do is go Select and All, because Photoshop's smart. I guess it's a little smarter now than it used to be, but you need to make sure you tell Photoshop what you're selecting. So I go like this. I go All. It goes like that. There's these little things, these little marching ants, the selection tickers that go around the outside. I go Edit, Copy. It's going to copy everything on the layer I have selected, which is layer 0. I'm then going to go to my desert, and I'm going to go Edit and Paste. And now you see what happens is I have my desert, which is background, and then I have my SpongeBob, which is layer 1. Okay. And yes, I am recording this for all of you who are wondering right now, so I'll have that posted, and then I'll have help time after this. So now that SpongeBob is here, I can use my Move tool, which we haven't used yet. My Move tool is at the very, very top. And I can click on SpongeBob, and I can move him around. Now, the background isn't moving because it's locked. So if I click and drag, it's going to move SpongeBob because that's the layer that I have selected here. I can place SpongeBob wherever I'd like. Just understand in terms of perspective and how things work. If I put SpongeBob down here, he's going to look fairly small. If I put SpongeBob back like this, it's going to make him look like he's gigantic because he's off in the distance running along these sand dunes. Okay. I can also, this is the next step and little tip for you. If you would like to change the size of SpongeBob, you go to Edit. This is something to write down in your notes. Edit. Transform. And go to Scale, because Scale is going to change the size. Logan, you mean the copy and paste part? I'll do that again in 1 second. And what happens is it gives this little thing right here, which we call a bounding box. It's kind of a vocab term that I'm going to use a ton. A bounding box. And what the bounding box is whenever you get a box that has all these little dots at the edges and the corners, and that bounding box always tells us that now you can adjust the size of the character. So I can grab a corner and I can drag it, and it will make SpongeBob bigger or make SpongeBob smaller. I can drag from any of these angles, and it will do that. Now we see when we make it bigger, he might get a little pixelated, but that's okay. All we need to do is double click on it, and it will clean it up for us. And now I see that it's all big. I have all these little spots that I missed initially. So I can come back and kind of clean that up because we want SpongeBob to look like he's part of this. He's not separate, okay? You don't have to make SpongeBob smaller or bigger. That's really up to you. The other thing that you might have seen if you're playing with this along with me, if I drag the corner, it'll make it bigger or smaller. But if I go outside a little bit and the arrow curves, that means I can rotate it. And I can spin him around. Okay? It's really going to be up to you. But what you're going to do is you're going to put SpongeBob and paste him here. You can make him bigger. You can make him smaller. You can do whatever you want in that sense. But you're going to put SpongeBob on to the desert. Okay? That's the first section of it. So let me try to do this again for you. I'm going to go back to my SpongeBob. For those of you that kind of missed where we were, I'm going to come to SpongeBob. To make sure that I copy everything that's in this layer, I'm going to go Select up at the top. So there's File, Edit, Image, Layer, Type, and Select. And then on Select, I'm just going to click All. The quick key, as you can see, is Control-A. So select All. And then again, that gives me these little marching ants, these little dash marks that move all the way around the outside. That tells us what our selection is. So because I said select all, it's a giant rectangle around this entire thing. Because I have my layer 0 selected, it's going to copy everything here. Then I can go to copy it. I go Edit. And I come down to Copy. Or the quick key is Control-C. Both of them work. And once I have them copied, I can go to the desert. And once I'm back on the desert here, I can press Control-V, which is paste, or I can go Edit, Paste. And when I go to Edit, Paste, it will paste him onto this. Then Move tool again is our very top tool, and I can drag him around, and I'm good to go. Place him where I want. I can go Edit, Transform, and Scale to make him bigger, or the quick keys for that is Control, here's a quick key, Control-T for transform will give me that bounding box, and I can drag it and make him bigger. Okay? Those of you who've already finished cutting out SpongeBob should be totally fine and ready to go in terms of copying him, cutting him out, copying him, and pasting him onto your desert here. Okay? The next step, once you get them cut and pasted onto here, is you need to do one more thing. It should be easy to do. You shouldn't need my help necessarily. The last thing you need to do is you're going to start to finish up this project and do what we call, or turn it into what we call the SpongeBob Versus project. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my search engine, Google and I'm going to search up somebody I want SpongeBob to fight. Think Marvel versus Capcom or Street Fighter, right? There's going to be SpongeBob's here. Somebody else is going to fight him over here. So I got to figure out who to have him fight. So I'm going to go SpongeBob versus Deadpool, because I like him. Okay. Now I'm going to have him fighting Deadpool. Hopefully there's no inappropriate pictures up here. So what I'm going to do is I want to find kind of a full-size body that I can use, because I don't want to use something like this, because that just won't kind of fit very well with the desert. This one will work. So once I get here, I'm going to go right-click, save image as, which we've done before. I save it to my desktop. I'm going to rename this Deadpool. Ooh, it's a WEBP file, which means it might not work. But let's check it out. I will go back to Photoshop. I will go File, Open. I will find my Deadpool. Oh, could not repeat your request. It's not the right kind of document. That means that the image is locked because they don't want you stealing it. Figures. So I can't use it. So let's try number 2. Let's get one of these. See if one of these ones is not locked. Same picture, different web source. Save image as JPEG. Haha, winner. JPEGs work. This one will be Deadpool. Okay. I will go here. Photoshop. File, open. Deadpool. Yay. And then what I have to do, first thing, double click my background. For those of you following along the video, grab my eraser, and then I can start erasing to my transparency grid. And I'm going to erase everything except for Deadpool and the swords. And when I finish that, I'm going to copy and paste Deadpool. See, select all, copy, over here, paste Deadpool onto this. I'll press Control-T to make him bigger, and I'll place him over here. Okay, obviously I didn't cut him out, but that's the concept. Okay, the next assignment that will be due at the end of the day tomorrow. We do the end of the day on Wednesday. So if you finish it today, you'll have nothing to do tomorrow. We will have an asynchronous day tomorrow, our first one of the year, which basically means what I'll do is I'll have a Google form up that'll have you put in your class period, have you put in your name, and give me an update on where you're at on this project. You'll submit that form, and that'll be your attendance for the day. So you won't have to necessarily sign in at 9:55 tomorrow. But we'll have that posted for tomorrow, so I can get all these grades and everything else up. But you will turn in this to the assignment that I have due by the end of the day tomorrow. Okay? Cut out, obviously. Cut out other person. SpongeBob cut out both of them on the desert. Okay? Questions you guys have on, I mean, there's obviously questions on how to do some things, but general questions on what I've walked through right now. You can go ahead and type, or you can unmute yourself. Either one's fine. Well, that's just fantastic. Zoom is Z. So press Z on your keyboard for the quick key, or it's this one on the very, very bottom of your toolbar, the magnifying glass. Click on it. Click on it again. And what you click on will zoom in. And then the quick key to zoom out is hold Alt. That will flip our tool, and then we can click to zoom out. Oh, it's not cool, Austin. I apologize for your glitching mouse. Okay, so with that being said, let me stop the recording.